You know, in the history of sports, there's been many great color commentators, but this guy really stands out because not only was he a talented player before he became a broadcaster, he told it like it was, but not with a Howard Cosell egotism, but with a clarity and intelligence that only he had. If you're growing up in Canada in the 1970s, you saw this guy as sort of your second babysitter. When your parents were gone, you want to watch the Blue Jay game. Him and Don Chevry had a great rapport. So today we're going to be talking about the broadcasting career of the great Tony Kubek. Now, upon his retirement, he became a color commentator on NBC's Saturday Game of the Week telecast, teaming with play-by-play announcer Jim Simpson on the network's backup games from 66 to 68, and then joining Curt Gowdy to form the lead crew in 69. He spent 24 years at NBC, teaming with such announcers as Simpson, Gowdy, whom Kubek later called his favorite partner, Joe Garagiola, and Bob Costas. Kubek could be considered baseball's first network baseball analyst, as contrasted with a color commentator, similar to Tim McCarver and Jim Catt later. In addition to the weekly and season games, Kubek worked 11 World Series, 69 to 76 inclusive, 78, 80, and 82 for NBC, as well as 14 ALCSs, 69 to 75, 77, 79, 81, 83, 85, 87, 89, and 10 All-Star games, 69 to 75 inclusive, 77, 79, and 81. He also worked local telecasts for the Toronto Blue Jays on the Sports Network and CTV from their inaugural season of 77 through 89. The Toronto Star stated Kubek educated a whole generation of Canadian baseball fans without being condescending or simplistic. During the winter, Kubek would go hunting, coach junior high basketball, and wait for baseball to resume. Now, as a sportscaster, he was known for his outspokenness. When calling the 72 American League Championship Series, Kubek said that Oakland's Bert Campaneris throwing his bat at Detroit's Larry LeGros, who had just knocked Campaneris down with a low inside pitch, was justified, on the grounds that any pitch aimed squarely at a batter's legs could endanger his career. Angered by Kubek's comments, executives from Detroit's Chrysler Corporation, which sponsored NBC's telecasts, phoned then Commissioner of Baseball Bowie Kuhn, who in turn called the network about the matter. He was also highly critical of the Bucky Dent firing by Steinbrenner in 1990. Look it up. The documentary about that is on the History Channel this month in Canada. Now, on April 8, 74, when Hank Aaron hit his record-breaking 715 career home run, Kubek, who was calling the game with Curt Gowdy and Joe Garagiola, criticized Kuhn on the air for failing to be in attendance in Atlanta on that historic night. Kuhn later argued in a prior engagement he could not break. Now, in the 10th inning of Game 3 of the 75 World Series, Cincinnati's Cesar Geronimo reached first base. Then Boston catcher Carlton Fisk threw Ed Armbruster's bunt into center field. Kubek on the ABC telecast immediately charged and Armbruster interfered with the attempted forceout, though home plate umpire Larry Barnett did not agree. After Joe Morgan drove in the game-winning run for the Reds in a 6-5 victory, Barnett blamed Kubek and Gowdy for inciting death threats against him. Later, Kubek got 1,000 letters dubbing him a Boston stooge. Now, in 78, Kubek had said to Yankees owner George Steinbrenner that he's got an expensive toy. Baseball's tough enough without owner harassing you. In an SI article published May 27, 91, on the Yankees' bad season, he would go on to criticize Steinbrenner once again by saying, George's legacy is not the World Series of winners of 77-78 or having the best record of any time a team in the 80s. His legacy is these past 5 seasons. Teams with worse and worse records culminated in last year's last place finish. Kubek also added, George talked a lot about tradition, but it's all phony. It was just him trying to be part of the tradition. You can't manufacture tradition in a plastic way. You have to have a certain class to go with it. Now, with Costas, it was proved to be a formidable pair. Costas was praised by fans for both his reverence and irreverence, while Kubek was praised for his technical approach and historical perspective. One of the pair's most memorable broadcasts was the Ryan Sandberg game between the Cubs and Cardinals at Wrigley Field on June 23, 84. In the ninth, the Cubs, trailing 9-8, faced the premier relief pitcher of all time, Bruce Sutter. Sandberg, then known for his power, slugged a home run to left field against the Cardinals' ace closer. Despite this dramatic act, The Cardinals scored 2 runs in the top of the 10th. Sandberg came up again in the 10th inning, facing the tournament Suter with 1 man on base. He then shocked the national audience by hitting a second home run, even farther than left field bleachers to tie the game. The Cubs went on to win in the 11th inning. When Sandberg hit that second home run, Costas said, "Do you believe it?" The Cardinals' Willie McGee also hit for the cycle in the same game. Now, Kubek and Costas, who had worked together since '83, calling 4 LCSs, called the final edition of NBC's Game of the Week, which aired on September 30th, 1989. That game featured the Blue Jays beating the Orioles 4-3 to clinch the AL East at Skydome. When the subject came up of NBC losing the rights to televising MLB for the first time since '46, Kubek said, "I can't believe it. The final broadcast for Kubek and Costas as a team was Game 5 of the '89 ALCS at Skydome, where the Oakland Athletics won to advance to the World Series." Now, when NBC lost his baseball TV rights to CBS after the '89 season, he left the national scene, joined the Yankees' local cable TV announcing squad, which earned Kubek a very, very strong $525,000 US a year. Now, he spent 5 years calling games for the Yankees between 1994 and MSG with Dwayne Stotts, where he earned fans and critics respect for his honesty. After '94, Kubek effectively quit broadcasting. He explained his sudden retirement from sportscasting by saying, "I hate what the game's become, the greed, the nastiness. You can be married to baseball, give your heart to it, but when it starts taking over your soul, it's time to say, whoa." Kubek added, "I want to go home and spend more time with my family. They deserve it more than anyone. I don't need that ego stuff. I feel sorry for those who do." In a 2008 New York Times article, Kubek claimed not to have seen a major league game since his retirement from broadcasting. Now, he currently lives in Appleton, Wisconsin, and is a supporter of the Fox Valley Lutheran High School and his baseball team. The National Polish American Sports Hall of Fame, on June 20th, 2019, named his inaugural Excellent Media Award the Tony Kubek Award, and Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN was honored. Now, on December 22nd, 2008, Kubek was named the recipient of the 2009 Ford C. Frick Award, an honor bestowed on broadcasters by the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, selected for the honor by a committee of 15 prior Frick Award winners and 5 broadcast historians and columnists, he became the first Frick Award winner whose broadcast career was solely in television, and the first to have called games for a Canadian team, the Toronto Blue Jays, from '77 to '89. In that regard, he was named the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame in St. Mary's, Ontario, for its class of 2016. So, listening to Tony Kubek is almost listening to a great prof talking about English or talking about movies or television. He was very informative and very, very intelligent. Nothing got past Tony Kubek, and his voice was so distinct. Most Canadians know that voice better than he knew their own prime minister or knew their own premier. Tony Kubek is the greatest Canadian not born in Canada, in my opinion, because what he's given to the game in Canada. Every young kid from 1977 to '89 listened to Tony Kubek, wanted to reach heights of success and have Tony Kubek announce them in a game, and it's just amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of the great Tony Kubek. If you like what we're doing here with our Vintage Baseball podcast, let us know in a like, comment, subscribe, or share.